Hello, my name is Brighton. I would like to just welcome you once again on this period. As we saw last period, we were just introduced to some kinds of keys to fluency. I mean, keys to fluent speaking, especially keys to fluency in English speaking. So I think there's no doubt you understood what I said, but more you're going to learn through our lesson, today's lesson. Okay, today we are continuing with fluency. As I said, we are continuing with fluent speaking. Okay, now this will be just an introduction to fluent speaking. My goal is to see all of you are good English speakers. So let us start. Okay, by starting, I will come and show you the definition of fluent speaking or English fluency. So, by the definition, we say fluent speaking or fluency means being able to speak easily, reasonably quickly, and without having to stop or and pause a lot. You see, I will repeat it. Okay, fluent speaking or fluency means being able to speak easily, reasonably quickly, and without having to stop and pause a lot. You see, when we're talking about fluency, we mean the flow. You have to flow from one sentence to another. Maybe you have a sentence, you just speak it without any pauses. You see, when I say pauses, I mean you have to stop and think a lot. That is very, very weird. You need to be a good speaker. You have to speak without pausing. So when we're talking about fluency, we mean you have to be confident when speaking. You have to make sure that you are good at uh, 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 jumping from one sentence to another. That is our goal. You go there smoothly without even pausing, without even thinking a lot, without stopping. You go direct from one sentence to another. That is what we refer to as uh, fluent speaking or fluency. In English, we just recommend you to speak a lot so that you can just manage to build that confidence I'm talking about. Okay, so from there we can see that fluence always means you have to speak effortlessly. You don't have to put much effort on speaking. Oh, you have to. You don't have to see that hardship when it comes to speaking. You speak without even thinking about grammar. You see, the problem is when it comes to speaking, many people think a lot about grammar. So, where should I put a noun? Where should I put a pronoun? Where should I put? You see, those words like that. You don't have to think that way. You have to just speak. You will come to think about grammar when you are studying about grammar. You understand? But when it comes to speaking, you speak the way you speak Swahili. You see, we don't just think of this is a verb. This is a. Those issues are not to be thought when you're speaking. You have to focus. Okay, now once I've said so, let us see the tips to fluent speaking. What are the tips to fluent speaking? What are the tips to speak to fluent speaking? And when I say tips, I mean the things you have to do so that you can be a good speaker, a fluent speaker. That is what I mean. Okay. Uh, these tips I have just put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They are like 10 here, but there are so many. These are just few I've mentioned. They are too many. You have to just Google them somewhere, or you have to just practice them. We will start with this. Number one is use every opportunity in class to speak English. You have to speak to your classmates and your teacher in English. This means that if you are still a student, you have to make sure that when you are at school environment, Don't just use any other kind of language. Use English. Talk to your teachers in English. Talk to your students, fellow students in English. To your classmates, I mean, you have to talk to them in English. Every just opportunity you get, you have to use it by speaking English. When you're just talking to maybe a teacher, you have to express yourself, explain something to him or her. You have to use English. That is what is going to help you more. So you will have to use English whenever you communicate at school. That will build the confidence. English will just flow. Okay. Now, another point is be confident about speaking English. This is what I always say, that you have to feel confident. Be confident when it comes to speaking. Don't be afraid. Just don't be shy. Just speak confidently. That will help you. Don't just even think of how people will just perceive it or will just react against what you say. That is going to build you, to make you a good English speaker. Number C is be very clear and precise about the message you want to communicate. Be very clear and maybe precise about the message you want to communicate. Okay, when communicating, message is the key. What do you intend people to hear from you? That is the key. You have to make sure that what you are going to communicate is very clear, and you have to stick on it so that you make sense. So be clear. When you be clear on that, then you will find it very easy for you to be a good speaker. Okay, another point is don't worry about making mistakes. Put an emphasis on what you want to communicate. Okay, so the message is said there too, is mentioned. So you have to be, you have not to be worried about making mistakes. That is a very big challenge we face. Even you face it, because when you make mistakes, it seems like you are without clothes. You see, you think every person in the world has seen your mistakes. That is bad. You have to make sure that you are not afraid of making mistakes. You have to make mistakes so that next time you will learn from the mistakes you made yesterday. You won't repeat them. So we just learn from our mistakes. We make mistakes, but you'll come to understand that it helped you. The mistakes helped you. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Don't be worried about that, about making mistakes. Don't be worried about that. Okay. Another point is use literal expressions like a or to fill the gaps while you are thinking about what to say. You see, you are in front of people, you want to speak about something, you want to just convey some kind of message, and then uh, in the middle of the conversation or of the speech, you are just conveying. You find it difficult to find some words. What you are supposed to do, you have to use the gap fillers, like they're called gap fillers. So you have to use them. You use them in the sense that it gives you a chance to think about what to say next. Okay, you say you can find that I always use them too. You have to use them too. So in order for you to become a good fluent speaker, you need to just use this technique or this how can I call it? Yeah, let us just call it technique. You have to use this technique that you use gap fillers, you use literal expressions like a or and to fill the gaps while you are thinking about what to say. Okay, another thing is number G. Listen, listen, listen. You have to listen. The more you hear, the easier it will be for you to speak fluently. That is another case. I told you, yes, when I last lesson, I say that uh, listening has a very, very big role. It plays a very big role when it comes to speaking. So listening is another issue you have to do. I will come to this as a point. So I will just explain about it, and we shall make it a lesson of the day. How listening can help you become a good English speaker, a fluent English speaker. So when we talk about fluent speaking, I will just take you back to the definition. You don't forget that fluent speaking means you speak naturally, a natural speaking. You speak like a native speaker of the English. Native speakers are those people who were exposed to to English language as their first language. So you have to speak naturally. So listening can make you be what you want. Okay, another point is okay. Think in English. Grow from speaking good English by thinking in a particular language. You see, think. When you're thinking, you have to make it in English. Is it difficult? Yeah, of course it's difficult, but you have to just try it. When you think about something, you think in English. You think in English. Okay, you have to have conversation in English in your mind whenever you are. You are thinking of going somewhere, you just think in English. Okay, after this time, after this lesson, I'm going to go to my friend Juma to say hi to him. I have not seen him for so long. So you think in English. Don't think in Swahili or any other language you are exposed to. So this technique will help you build confidence or get used to this language. You think in English. All your thinking, your thoughts have to be in English. Okay, now another point is talk to yourself in English in front of the mirror. This is another good idea. Okay, you are home alone. You go in front of your mirror, then you start talking to yourself while looking at yourself in the mirror. That will help you. It will make you see the way you articulate some words, the way you mold some words, your mouth movement, you will see it. Okay, it will tell you what level are you now. It will make you confident. So you have to talk to yourself in English in front of the mirror. If possible, if you have a device, record what you're saying in the mirror. So after that, you have to listen to yourself from the recorder or from the device. The recorded device, the recorded voice will tell you how you're going, your improvement. So you have to stand in front of your mirror and start talking to yourself. Sometimes, if a person is outside, will think that maybe you are not okay. Maybe you have some mental problems, but you need to know that this is the way to make you be a good English speaker, fluent speaker, natural. Now you speak naturally. You speak English naturally. So this I recommend it to you. This point that you have to talk to yourself in front of the mirror. That is going to help you much. The last one here is involve yourself in debates if you are still at school. You see, I will repeat it very clearly, okay, so that you can understand. Involve yourself in debates if you're still at school. Okay, this is another technique which is going to help you very much. You need to make sure that whenever you get a chance to engage in a debate at school, you participate fully. Don't be afraid of how people are going to just react at your way of speaking. Don't be afraid. Just speak. Speak. This will help you to build a confidence. It will help you build confidence when it comes to speaking. So go engage or involve yourself in debates if you are still at school. So the problem with us here in our schools is whenever there is these events like debates or maybe morning speeches, many people dodge them. They go away. They they run away from these events. But if you are a language learner, you know the importance of this, which is very, very helpful. So I recommend it. If you're still at school, don't run away from debates. Don't run away from morning speeches. These are going to be helping you get used to language, and it will give you some kind of confidence when it comes to speaking. Okay, I think for today, this is enough, isn't it? It's enough. So I will call it a day and I say bye. See you next lesson. My name is Brighton. Don't forget that.